features with Livingston and Tangela too, and our host Vincent Van Dahl, and he brings it to ya. Creature features and all creatures and all features, and the creature gonna get you tonight. You better not turn out your bedroom light. He'll grab your head and give it such a bite. You may even die, just from a fright. You ain't nothing gonna be, baby. You ain't nothing gonna be alright. Cause the creature gonna get you, baby. Don't get you tonight.
I mean, really, Livingston, this is like the third Martin Landau film we've shown in 1 month. Yet we've shown exactly 0 Barbara Bain films, not to mention we failed to even present one movie starring his lovely daughter, Julia. Well, hello, friends. In any case, if we're to do films featuring cast members from Space 1999, then let's at least do another Catherine Schell film. She's rather quite lovely, and the viewers adore her.
Would you please welcome your guest and finish your long-winded diatribe so as I may return to my work?
All right. Welcome to Creature Features. I'm your host, Vincent. With me is my dedicated, if not somewhat overly dutiful butler, Mr. Livingston. On this side is everyone's most favorite devilish imp and my tiny sidekick, the lovely Miss Tangela. And do we have a super fantastic and mildly interesting show in store just for you? First our film. Tonight we'll take in the fantastic tale entitled The Return from 1980. Starring Cybill Shepherd, Jan Michael Vincent, Raymond Burr, and of course, as mentioned, the talented Martin Landau. The film revolves around alien spacecraft, abduction, cattle mutilations, and a gold miner played by the train poltergeist in the movie Ghost. It's an enjoyable film, and I hope you'll like it just as much as I do. All right, already, I shall now announce our guest. And joining us tonight in the red chair will be the founder and purveyor of one of Tangela's most favorite shops in the world, Mr. Sean Quigley. He operates an establishment called Paxton Gate, located in San Francisco. This large facility is more than just a curio shop. It is an emporium of the bizarre, a stockpile of the amazing, and a collection of curiosities that you really must see to believe. Sean will show us a few of the items from his warehouse of the peculiar and tell us what exactly inspired him to open such a fantastical store. So don't go away. Well, that was rather rude. Because it's going to be another night of Alien and Oddity Shop, right? Right here on Creature Features. Good shot, love. Stay tuned. Sean, did you know that tonight, it started at 8:30, half an hour ago, is Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
I did not know that.
Have you ever seen that film?
I haven't.
Well, it's too bad you're doing the show with us tonight because you could be watching it on ABC. Anyways, welcome to the show. It's going to be a fun night. It's not going to be Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. It's going to be Vincent and Sean Quigley. Welcome to the show.
Thank
Sean, as I mentioned in the introduction, is a purveyor of Curiosities. Is that appropriate?
That's well put, I think.
Right,
That's
right.
appropriate.
No. And you've got this beautiful store. It's huge. So we found out about this place from Tangela. She comes into your store all the time. You probably don't even know.
Probably not.
She's a sneaky little thing. Sneaky little thing. Anyways, we're going to watch The Return from 1980, and I take it you have not seen this film, so it'll be a surprise for you. I've seen it, but it was some time ago, so I don't remember all the parts.
Hadn't even heard of it, actually.
No, it's good. It has Cybill Shepherd. Do you remember her?
I do.
Cybill Shepherd, and it's got Martin Landau, who's somewhat rather famous, and it's got Jan Michael Vincent, and he's dead. So he's dead, Martin Landau's dead, and then Cybill Shepherd, I think, is still alive.
Must have been a young Cybill Shepherd in
She looks
1980,
young.
right?
Yeah, in 1980, she looks young. Anyways, we're going to watch this film. We're going to hang out with Sean, and you've brought some items for us to look at.
Yep.
Fun stuff.
Happy to share them.
Spooky stuff.
I tried to lean spooky for you.
Good. That's important. All right, well, let's say we get this film started, and then when we come back, we're going to take a look at one of your items, right?
Great.
All right, off we go to The Return, 1980. We will return after the break. Don't go away, please. UFO time on Creature Features. I love UFOs. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure they're from outer space, though.
I think they're from here.
I think they could be because they always have reports of them coming in and out of the ocean, right? So maybe they're just like different versions of us who've developed
Just from under the ocean.
flying submarines. I don't know. Have you ever seen a UFO?
No.
No. You know, I think I saw one, but it was unidentified, so I don't know if I actually saw a UFO, but I suppose I did if it was unidentified, right?
Right. That's
It's
what
so
makes it a UFO.
confusing. Anyways, welcome back to the show. If you're just joining us, we are watching The Return from 1980 with Mr. Sean Quigley, and you are the proprietor of Paxton Gate.
Yes, I am.
That's the name of the...
That's
what does
right.
that mean?
It was named after Sir Joseph Paxton, who was a 19th century landscape architect, inventor, plantsman, just kind of a
Right.
all-around jack of all trades.
Right.
Whose name we
Nice.
liked.
Good name. It's a wonderful name. But what do you got there?
I've got a little bat in a coffin.
Oh, show me.
Seemed quite appropriate for the show.
Oh, this is amazing. It's a real bat.
It's a real bat, freeze-dried.
Freeze-dried? Mm-hmm. Really? How does one freeze-dry a bat?
I don't know what the freeze-drying
You
process
say,
is.
come here, little bat. Get inside my freeze dryer. This is incredible. So he looks like a little vampire bat. He's got those little teeth. That's incredible. So you would have an item like this for sale in your store.
Yes, that's correct.
This is for sale.
Yep,
What's something like this run?
that's $240.
Oh, that's worth it. Now, do you know how much trouble it would be to catch an actual bat, find this freeze drying device, build a tiny coffin, and then line it with red velvet? It costs you a lot more than that, guaranteed. So what inspired you to open a store like this?
Well, it opened as more of a, a quirky gardening store
Right.
with gardening services, and we kind of had insects and a few little things, and I saw a lot of interest in those areas.
Right.
And purposely just started building on that. So it's 30 years old now, and it's just evolved.
You've been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah, 92.
My
we opened.
goodness.
Yeah, so,
You don't look old enough to have done this for 30 years.
well, thanks.
That's wonderful. So have you always been at the same place?
No, we started in a much more out-of-the-way location, and like 300 square feet of retail space on an
Right.
alley, off of an alley.
Still in San Francisco?
Still in San Francisco.
Right,
Then we moved in 99 to Valencia Street, where we are currently.
And it's a nice size shop.
Yeah, it's
Right.
almost 2,000 square feet.
Wow. No, and you've got a backyard section, right?
Yep, little garden out there still.
Right.
Still have the connection to the garden that we started
That is
with.
great. So how many people do you think a week come traveling through your store?
God, I should know that as a businessman, shouldn't I?
No, just a guess.
A week, several hundred, I would think.
Right.
It's a very, it's almost like visiting a museum where you can take part of it home with you if you want. So we get a lot of people coming in.
I was going to ask, how many people just walk in, look, and don't buy anything?
Plenty.
You know, you should have some kind of ticket fee at the door.
Little docent tour and a little fee.
No, just charge them to come look, and if they buy something, they get that credited back. That's my idea. Just, I don't know. Do what you
It's
want.
crossed my mind.
I'm going to signal we got to get back to the film. When we come back,
All right.
we're going to take a look at something else from your collection, right?
Great, yeah.
But first, let's get back to The Return, 1980. We shall see you on the other side of the break. Bye.
This is Livingston, and you're watching Creature Features. Not now. Stay tuned. This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
Welcome back to the show. Mr. Quigley had to step away. You know, I think he went to get another thing
From his Emporium cache.
from his Emporium collection. You know, I think he should open his own museum.
Isn't that what his shop is?
No, it's
Quasi?
a shop. It's a store where one can buy things. You cannot go into the Louvre and buy the Mona Lisa.
No, you can't buy that.
Right, right. Anyways, before we do mail, somebody special has a birthday today.
Yes.
It's Tammy Draheim. You know Tammy. She writes to us all the time, right? Tangela knows Tammy, right? It's her birthday. What do you think she's turning today? Maybe 21?
Older.
She's older. Why?
Because that's how birthdays work.
Well, of course she's older, but she was 20 last year. She cannot be that old because she spells Tammy with an I.
I'm not saying that she's old. I'm saying that she's getting older.
See, he can do the back step very, very nicely, can he not? In any case, you have a wonderful, happy birthday, Tammy, and we hope you have many more to come.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. All right, what do you got for mail, sir? Anything good?
Something from Colin Patterson.
He's a famous movie star.
Is he?
I don't know. It sounds like he is. Colin Patterson. He does not say where he's from. All right. Hi, Vincent. After finding Creature Features on YouTube, I have been binging out watching an episode every evening, usually when I'm eating dinner. You know, I like doing that as well. Dinner and a movie. No, in fact, I often recall films by the food I ate.
Really?
Yes. No. I remember there was one film I saw, and every time I saw it, I had enchiladas.
You were an odd one.
No, you shouldn't feed me enchiladas. All right. I now walk around singing Creature Features, doing a Brian Johnson impersonation. Not very good. I enjoy the characters and the films. Have you based your character on a Camp Ozzy Osbourne? Who in God's name is Ozzy Osbourne?
I have no idea.
No, actually, Colin, I know Ozzy, and you know what? He's like 1,000 years older than me.
At least.
No, and you know he's like I think he's going to retire soon.
I think he has announced it.
He has announced it.
Yes.
Oh, all right. See, I didn't know that, and I guessed it. All right. Is the girl that advertises the merchandise the actor that plays Tinja? What is this with the actors?
I have no idea.
This man is convinced he's watching some type of fiction.
And he thinks we're all actors.
No, the actor Tangela, are you an actor? You know, she acts innocent sometimes, but that's about it. No, so in the merchandise, that's, I don't know, that's like a merchandise model, right?
It's a model.
A celebrity spokesmodel for Creature Features. It's not Tangela. And then he finishes, if I could afford a butler, I would like him to be just like Livingston. Well, that's it for now. Keep up the good work for me in good old London, the most haunted city in the world. Colin Patterson. You know, you need to spend a night in this house, Colin, and then you'll know haunted, right? But no, London is rather haunted, but it's haunted by bad restaurants, I think. I could be wrong.
This one from Orlando, Florida. Susana Suarez.
Oh, this is heavy. I think there's coins or something inside. Probably a gift for this one. It's going to be smaller than the elephant. Right, I'm going to let you open this portion because that has stuff. And the letter goes, Dear Mr. Livingston, Tangella, and Vincent, I found your show on YouTube more than 3 weeks ago. I have added your channel to my Roku. Thank you for having this option. Mr. Livingston's voice is very sexy. Look what you did to his face. Look at that. Tangella is just adorable, and you, Vincent, are an amazing host. See, you guys get complicated on your looks, and I just get complicated on my job. That's okay. It's all right. Now, it's nice to know that I don't do this. I was not hired for my looks, unlike these two.
You have a face for radio.
I just love watching the amazing movies you showed. I lived as a child in San Jose, and we loved watching Creature Features on Saturday nights. We moved to Florida, and I missed it terribly, as I am a huge sci-fi fan. So I really appreciate your show. The three of you really complement each other. Again, thank you, a faithful fan, Susie. All right, what did Susie send us? Decals, monster decals. Yeah, it looks good.
Stickers.
Maybe you should wear that for a while. And more stickers. You know she loves stickers. You probably knew that already, though, didn't you? Thanks for writing, Susie. Next up, Mr. Livingston.
This one from Laveen, Arizona.
Levine? Look at that. Levine. And it's spelt phonetically.
Yes.
That's from somebody named Stain. I wonder if that's like a nickname for a rock band. Oh, look at this. This is nice. My goodness. Oh, there's American money inside here. Look at this.
American money.
$20. That's like 18 quid. Wonderful. You know, we like getting money in the mail. So there is a letter, which I shall read, and then some type of image. Let's start with the image. Oh, look at this. I wonder if this is the bloke. Look at this. That looks like you on a Sunday morning. Yeah, I will put a big one up. This is wonderful. All right, let's see what he says. Dearest Creature Features, congratulations. This incarnation of Creature Features not only rivals that of the 1970s predecessor, but it has finally broken the evil spell that Svengoolie had on me. There's that name, Svengoolie, again.
Keeps popping up.
No, well, he's nice. I've seen his program, and it's rather entertaining, and it's colorful, much more colorful than we are. Mr. Livingston, you are the epitome of class and sophistication. That he is. Tangella is the perfect combination of beauty and inner beast. She has more inner beast than beauty, I can assure you, sir. And finally, Vincent, your dry delivery and uncanny wit rivals that of Mr. Bob Wilkins himself. That is the highest honor I could ever bestow upon thee. And you know what? I have to argue with you because he was a funny guy.
Quite.
No, he was. But you always knew when he was going to say something funny because he would get that look on his face. He's about to do it. He was like the master of dad jokes. So I'm told. From the A Bribe Never Hurt Anyone department, please find Mr. Jackson, that would be this one, enclosed as a suggestion to consider 1986's TerraVision. This hidden horror gem from 1986 features none other than Uncle Rico himself from Napoleon Dynamite as the incomparable O.D. Riley. You know, I've heard of this film and we're going to look into it, but I did not know that Uncle Rico, remember Napoleon Dynamite?
Vaguely.
No, he throws a steak and Napoleon Dynamite knocks him off a bicycle. It's one of the funniest films ever made. I love it. No, it reminds me of Guatemalan Handshake.
Oh, dear.
Cryptally yours, Stain. Well, thank you so much, Stain. I hope that picture that we held up was of you, because if that is you, you should be like a wrestler, right? Should he not?
It appears to be a wrestler's picture.
Is that it, Mr. Livingston?
That would be it.
That is it for mail. If you'd like to send us mail of your own, go to hellocreaturefeatures.com. It's got all the information you need if you'd like to email us or send us something in the post. But other than that, let's get back to the film, shall we?
Please.
All right, off to the return, and we shall return shortly. See you soon. It's Creature Feature Night. It's a wonderful night because you're with us, and I'm with you, and Sean Quigley is with us as well, and he's amazing. We're going to talk about him in a moment, but this film, Jan Michael Vincent was allegedly drunk the entire time he filmed this film.
He was drinking during the whole film.
Right, but usually in these movies they're drinking water or something like that. They're not really drinking, but he looks like he's... And then Raymond Burr, I'm told, had to use a teleprompter for the entire film because he couldn't remember his lines anymore. I suppose he was up there in the years. I would be the same way. Have you ever acted?
Oh, no way.
It's the most complicated thing in the world, trying to remember the lines. I can remember lyrics to songs that I have not heard in years, but when it comes to like read me one sentence and have me read it back, never. I can never be an actor.
Me neither. No thanks.
What is this god-awful thing on my table?
This beautiful thing, you mean?
This beautiful thing on my table.
This is a diaphanized toad.
What does diaphanized mean?
It's a process that used to be used more scientifically for... You use this enzyme process to pull away tissues and color.
Right.
It essentially makes a clear specimen. And then you use a dye, a couple dyes, red and blue dye usually, that attaches to the bones and cartilage. So you can essentially look at a clear animal. And it's sort of been usurped by MRI and scanning and stuff.
I was going to say, I thought it was simply a peeled frog.
Nope, it's
peeled like a
diaphanized.
banana. No. This is incredible. So this must be a very long process to accomplish.
Yeah, we get them from a biologist who actually uses them in his work and in study, and he was kind of like, I hate to just toss these things when I'm done, and he wanted to give them another life, so to speak, and so now we're able to move them on for him.
Oh, how wonderful. I think we should take it out.
Oh, sure, give it a shot.
No. But, it looks like it's encased in acrylic, but it's actually liquid, right? Mm-hmm. It's in liquid. This is nice, and the bottle is amazing as well. So people could buy something like this, and I suppose other types of animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got smaller ones, all sorts of crazy little diaphanized creatures.
How fun! This is. I can see why Tangela likes to shop. This is the kind of thing she has up in a chamber, up on the shelf. You think a girl she'd have something like dainty.
No.
This is what she'd have. So besides things like this, what other kinds of things do you carry in your store?
We've got everything's inspired by the outdoors and the natural sciences. So we've got insects in frames, butterflies, bugs, taxidermy ranging from mice to water buffaloes, bones and skulls, plants even.
Any human skulls?
Sometimes, yeah. We're very particular and cautious about where we get them.
Right.
So we don't get a lot of access to things that meet our requirements, but we have
The whole process is rather weird now, I suppose, like with taxidermy as well. You can't just say, oh, taxidermy something for me. You have to get like antique ones, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, there's legal taxidermy. There are a lot more requirements in California that we have to abide by.
Right.
So you can't sell anything that lives in California. That's taxidermy.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you can own it, but you're not allowed to sell it.
Oh, well, I've got to show you my collection. I've got quite. It was in the house. It's not my collection, but I suppose it's mine now. But I've got some amazing things in it. I've got a bloody moose.
Oh, really? Nice.
An entire moose, yeah. Well, just the head.
Yeah, it'd be a little
Right.
cumbersome to have the whole
No,
thing in the house.
I was going to have somebody open up the wall to see if the rest of the moose was on the other side, but they told me it was cost prohibitive. So.
Did you go outside and just see if it's just outside?
Well, no, there's a segment of the house that we cannot.
Oh.
Right, I don't know. It's
Hidden
not an
chambers.
outside wall on
Got
the
it.
other side. So.
Got it.
All right, well, let's say we get back to this film, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at another item that's not in a jar, right?
Right, I've got a couple things
All right.
not in jars.
Not in a jar. All right, well, we're going to get back to the film, and don't you dare go away, because we're going to be back very soon.
Hello, this is Nasser from New York City. And I want to say, Vincent, Tangela and Livingston. Great crew. Love your movies. Love the show. Keep it up, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye.
Sean Quigley, purveyor of interesting items. I have a question for you. Who does your hair?
Me?
You cut your own hair.
Oh, cut it? No. I go to a barber shop near Paxton Gate, actually.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Must be. They did a good job on you.
Thanks.
No. It made him look like he's like 25 years old.
Right.
No, it's all in the hair. Right. Anyways, welcome back to the show. We are watching The Return, 1980, with Mr. Sean Quigley, who owns Paxton Gate. Wonderful store in San Francisco. Somebody told me it was in Haight-Ashbury, is that correct?
Nope, we're in the Mission District on
Mission.
Valencia Street. Yeah.
Right. No, that's, there's missions there, right?
There is a famous mission there, yeah.
Right. Wonderful. And it's a, how do you describe it? Would you call it a curio shop, a hardware store?
It's like an oddities gift store. It's inspired by the natural sciences.
You have books as well.
We have books, curated selection of books.
That's wonderful. So on this movie, there's a lot of cattle mutilations going on.
Yeah, it's getting kind of weird.
I mean, you know, I wonder if it's actually aliens or perhaps there's some very skilled butcher who's got a shop.
And just wants a few parts here and there.
Right. No. I mean, he's not strong enough to carry the entire cow, so he just takes the select pieces. You think that's a possibility?
Just the ribeye. Just one ribeye.
One ribeye, right. No, maybe he just wanted a sandwich.
Yeah, that's probably
What
it.
a waste of a good cow. Anyways, what is this?
That's iron pyrite.
Iron pirate?
Pyrite, commonly referred to as fool's gold. So
This
that's
is
how-
fool's
it's
gold?
Fool's gold, yeah.
Did you cut it in the shape?
No, it forms naturally that way.
No.
Yeah. People often see it in little flakes and little lumpy chunks, but it also comes in these perfect cubes.
So you're saying somebody could dig and find this shaped just like this?
Just like that. Nothing has been done to that at all.
This looks like it's like a lobby decoration for a 1970s disco. No, it looks fantastic. This is proof that aliens exist, is it not?
Could be.
I mean, this could not just come out of the ground like this. This is perfectly square.
We have some that are actually still in the rock. You know, so they stick out of the rock
Oh my goodness.
as proof that they came out of the ground.
My goodness. What could cause this?
It actually goes all the way down to the molecular level. So the molecules, I think there are two, iron and something else, are in a perfect cube.
Right.
The way they attach to one another, and it just expands
Multiplies.
and becomes a perfect cube as it gets bigger.
So I suppose the question would be, how does that first cube start?
It's a kind of a chicken or an egg thing.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know the answer to that one. Dinosaurs had eggs long before those chickens. All right. What do you say we get back to this film? And then when we come back, we can take a look at, I think, one more item, maybe?
Yep.
Right? Yes? All right. Off we go back to The Return, and we will return after The Return. See you soon.
Hello, this is Mr. Livingston. It would appear I have been tasked with requesting you to help our show financially by visiting our patron page. Your generosity will help us keep Creature Features on the air. With only a few dollars a month from you, your kindness will allow us to continue creating new entertainment for your viewing pleasure each and every week. And if you have the desire to give more, you might even receive a gift from Tangela. I think not. please visit the website below to learn more. Thank you.
So, Sean, did you know in this film was only shot in 3 weeks?
Wow, really?
It only took 3 weeks to. It almost takes us 3 weeks to shoot a 1 week episode of this show, and these guys did this whole thing. But there's a story. They did some explosions, and I suppose they overdid the pyrotechnics a bit, and they ended up burning power lines and destroying the power for an entire town with their own explosion. That's terrible. So maybe that's why this film was not a hit. I don't know.
Because of the power outage?
Because of all the trouble that they brought upon this town. What is this?
This is a taxidermied mouse diorama.
So that's an actual mouse that was stuffed.
Right.
That's incredible. It looks like a real mouse. And he's dressed as a pirate,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So maybe it's a rat. A pirate.
Pirate.
A pirate.
little
I like
small
that.
for-
No, it's wonderful. So this is one of the many items you sell in your wonderful store, Paxton Gate. Mm-hmm. And what are the things like this one might find there?
We have a number of dioramas by this artist. We've got small taxidermy from little diker, depending on how you want to say it. It's a little antelope from Africa, trophy mounts, to larger trophy mounts.
Oh, I know this animal. I think it's called a dika, isn't it?
Yeah, I've actually never heard it said except for when I say it.
It's a funny little name. They have them. There's a facility near us called Safari West.
Oh, yeah.
And they have them there, and they're tiny, like little deer, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And they make things like this out of those.
Those we have just as a traditional trophy mount. So
right.
The head on the wall.
A tiny little head.
There's, little tiny head.
How cute. Or grizzly, depending on which way you look at it. That's wonderful. And then, so I noticed that in some of the pictures you have a huge book collection. Mm-hmm. Offerings, I suppose, are there for people to buy. What kind of books do you carry?
Everything inspired by the same theme, natural sciences. I think books are a tough thing because of Amazon and the like, but
right.
when you curate a collection that's around a particular theme, it's valuable to the customer because
Right.
they don't have to filter through pages and pages of data to find what they want.
Right.
So we've got books on the occult, we've got books about gardening, we've got books about how to collect mushrooms.
How wonderful. I'm the same way. I don't like buying books online because you can't really look, and even that Amazon look thing doesn't work. I want to ruffle through the
book,
pages.
right?
I want to smell the ink. I want to feel the heft in my hand before I buy a book. I don't want to do it online. That's wonderful. All right, what do you say we wrap up this film, and then when we come back, we'll find out how people can find your store and the website and all that, and we'll take it from there. So we're going to wrap up this film. We will be back after the film, so do not go away after the credits, because if we come back and you're not here, I'll be quite sad. What about you, Sean?
Of course.
He'll be sad. Tangelo will be here with us, and she'll be very sad. No, she'll be angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she takes things out on our viewers sometimes. So we don't want that to happen. Anyways, stick around. We'll be back after the credits. See you soon.
This is Livingston, and you're watching Creature Features. Stay tuned.
And that wraps up The Return from 1980. What did you think of that film, Tangela? She's not a big sci-fi fan.
No?
No. She likes sci-fi films that are horrible. Like, what was that one that was like a horror movie in space that you liked? No, that was not a horror movie in space. She's thinking about a different kind of horror movie. Anyways, nice movie. We'll show it again someday. But that ending, that makes no sense to me. That's probably why she didn't like it as well, because the ending it's silly. They go off and then they come back and we don't know what happened.
You know, like ambiguous endings.
No, this was a film that they should have shot in 4 weeks, and that last week would have taken care of the end story, and they did not do the 4th week, so they just threw something together. I could be wrong. I don't know. It happens. So what's next for you? New stores? I understand you've got something going on in Portland.
Yeah, they're not too new. One's been there for 10 years. I've got partners up there.
Right.
And they, about 3 years ago, opened a second store also in Portland. So we have 3 Paxton Gates total.
You should like expand all over the world.
Seems more like a niche market kind of thing.
A niche thing? Well, no. We need more niches.
I agree. Yeah.
We've got too many Costco's and Target stores. We need niche stores that sell things like taxidermy mice and transparent frogs. Yeah. Where can you buy a transparent frog around here? No, around here in Bodega Bay. Nowhere. No. But I saw her reading a book on how to make them, so maybe she'll start doing it. So, Sean, where do people go to find out more?
You can go to paxtongate.com.
Paxtongate.com. It is a bit of a tongue twister, is it not? And you've got information on where to find your store, and people could buy online, I imagine, as well, right?
Yep, full e-commerce store as well.
So even if you're like in Saudi Arabia, you don't need to make the trip to San Francisco to buy things, right?
Well, we don't ship internationally, unfortunately.
Oh, you don't ship internationally? All right. So if you're in Florida, if you're in the panhandle of Florida, you could order a transparent frog. Although I understand that many frogs in Florida are transparent already.
Oh, really?
Without using that process, no.
It'd be so much easier.
I just made that up. I don't know. But they've got crocodiles, or is it alligators? Which one is it? Both? Shouldn't say both.
Alligators.
Alligators? All right. See you later, alligator. No, how's that go? There's a riddle for remembering which is which.
I don't know the riddle.
Somebody's going to type it in the comments section so we know. All right, well, thank you so much for coming up, Sean, and showing us some of your stuff. And next time you're in town, you come see us. And next time I'm in San Francisco, I need to go see the store, don't I? She's been trying to drag me there for years, so I think I'm going to go visit soon.
Come on.
Thanks again for coming. As far as you guys go, thank you for watching the show tonight. We know you could have been watching that other thing, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, but you stayed here and you watched this show with us tonight, and we love you for that reason, and we will see you next week. Different guest, different movie. It'll be fun. See you next time. So, Sean, I'm thinking, I've got a house full of curios here, and they're taking up too much space. Maybe I can, put them in your shop for consignment.
Yeah, I've seen them. I walked around a bit. They're kind of past their prime.